Greetings to all my fellow watch enthusiasts on YouTube and Facebook and wherever else this video might be seen and shared. Celine Driver once again bringing you another unboxing and review of a watch that is not mine. This is another watch loaned into the channel by my friend Gallin. He has been kind enough to loan several watches into the channel, and this Delma is the latest one. And he's promised me more if I behave myself. I'm starting this video from a different perspective. I'm actually standing over the place I normally video from because this box is huge. To give you some sense of scale, there's the watch. This box it's got to be over a foot lengthwise and probably a foot this way, and a pretty deep box. It contains all this stuff over here, which we'll get to in a minute. Just wanted to show you. Inside the outer box is the inner box here, which I'm going to attempt to open up one-handed. There we go. And of course, that's where the watch goes. That's where this very interesting decompression table goes. And underneath here is a place for an extra piece of the watch, which I'll get to in a minute, and the watch travel pouch, which I will also get to in a minute. But I wanted you to see this box briefly before I switch perspectives and showed you what's inside this thing, because this box is literally the biggest one I've ever encountered. So I'm going to switch perspectives in 3, 2, 1, 0. And we're back with the normal perspective, I would call this. A whole bunch of stuff comes in the watch box that's associated with this watch. This is, very fancy stuff. Because this is a dive style watch, we have this metal decompression table, which shows various decompression information in 2 languages, which is really nice. And this particular space here, this engine turn space, which I will get to in a minute, took me a little while to figure out what it was, really. Hang tag, instruction, well, international warranty book. There's no instruction book with this thing, unfortunately. And I'll get to that in a minute. You have a pouch, kind of a nice leatherette travel pouch, which is pretty much empty at the moment. It's got a few leather pieces in there that you can put in here to prevent scratching, and some extra links are also in there. And there's a very particular screwdriver, which we'll get to, as I said, in a minute. And then this odd-looking cage, which, when I start explaining the party piece of this watch, the unique feature of this watch, will make sense. But it is a bracelet for the watch, signed, as you can see, if my camera would actually focus. There we go. Signed. Milled stainless steel. And it's very well engineered. And of course you have the watch here. I know it took a little while to get to this watch, but here is the watch itself. They call this the Delma Quattro. Particular model number, if you're interested, is 41701.744.6.151. No idea what any of that means. Not really going to concern myself with it. This is a Swiss-made watch, Swiss-made movement. Retails snapshot in time. This is being shot in first quarter of 2023. price is on their website of $2,490 US. Signed crown, exhibition case back, very nice silicone rubber strap, helium escape valve, and a very particular looking device here, which we'll get to in a minute. I'm sorry, unsigned crown, I should say. But you may notice it's a screw-down crown, but it's a screw-down crown with a screwdriver. And I will give you my thoughts on that in a minute. But as you can see, as you turn the screw in, it screws the crown in. And as you screw it out, eventually you can get your fingers around it and unscrew it. Now, and this, it uses conventional spring bars, and that becomes important in a minute as well. The particular party piece of this watch, I mean, it's relatively standard stuff. It's a Solita SW200 movement. It's a Swiss movement. It's a 120 click bezel. Stainless steel bezel insert, has excellent auditory and tactile bezel function. Beautiful. It's stainless steel case, stainless steel bracelet, rubber strap also comes with it. Pardon me. Sapphire crystals front and rear, and the helium escape valve. It's also a fairly conventional watch in terms of size. It's a 44 millimeter case. It's 13.7 millimeters thick. It's a 22 millimeter lug width, and it's 49 millimeter on the tip to tip. And it is a 500 meter water resistant rating. So this is a diveable watch as long as you get that crown screwed in. Now, as I said, this has two pieces of uniqueness to this watch. I'm sure it's probably been done on other watches, but it's unique to this watch as opposed to a conventional diver. One I think is kind of interesting and doesn't bother me so much. The other one really irks me and would almost certainly prevent me from buying it. The one thing that I kind of like has to do with this lever on the side here. If you take this lever and pull it upward and twist, the watch head, if you will, the guts of the watch, the mechanism, comes loose, and, hey, you can play Frisbee with it, or you could toss it around if you want, or you could, in the case of this watch, you could put it into another cage. Now, it took me a little while to figure out how to do this because, as I said, there's no instruction book. But if you put the watch where the 12 o'clock is pointed, clockwise away, say about 1 o'clock, and put it in the new cage and twist it somehow, you will get it. You got to kind of fiddle with it here. There it goes, and it locks in to the new cage. And now you've just changed the watch from a strap watch to a bracelet. And you really didn't have to play with spring bars or anything like that because this thing uses conventional, well, actually, they're drilled. I think they're drilled. I don't even know if the bracelet doohickey has spring bars. But this one does. So if you get, and this comes with the kit as well. So if you want to change from this very nice silicone strap to, say, a leather strap or a different color strap, this is a conventional 22 millimeter lug with conventional spring bars, and you can use your spring bar tool to change straps on this guy. And all you've got to do is get the watch head to line up with this notch, and that lever locks in, and the watch isn't going anywhere. You see? It ain't going anywhere. So it's kind of a unique party piece, and that's the one I like. I mean, it gives the watch a bit of uniqueness. It also gives the watch the ability to very quickly change from bracelet to rubber or bracelet to leather or what have you. It's also the part of the watch, the side effect of it is the thing that I don't like. Looking at the crown, for example, you notice something about the crown? You can't pull this crown out, or at least I can't, and at least not easily, with this thing inside its cage. You actually have to take the watch out of its cage, which again isn't terribly difficult, but it is an annoyance. Get the watch out of its cage, then you can get your fingernail underneath the crown and get the crown out for setting purposes, or you can wind it in the cage. It's kind of hard to get your fingers on it because the clearance isn't great, and also you can see the movement was hackable, as you can see there. It really makes winding the watch difficult, but not impossible, and it makes setting the watch impossible unless you pull it out of the cage. That, to me, is kind of a pain in the butt. And and also the screwdriver. You know, screwing the crown in, literally screwing the crown in. I mean, you can get it started with your fingers, maybe. Yeah, you can. And you can even get it fairly tight. But in order to make sure it's absolutely tight and water resistant, you're going to want to grab the screwdriver and give it that little extra quarter turn to make sure that the water resistance is there. Otherwise, you know, you run the risk of taking your $2,500 watch and dumping water through the seal. This part is being cute for the sake of being cute. It's a gimmick. My father used to say, solution looking for a problem. That's a solution looking for a problem. But get it back in the case. There it is. I'm getting better at it. Practice makes perfect, I guess. And I did that so I give you a wrist shot because I did not play with the links on that bracelet, but just because, you know, I didn't have to. I had the rubber strap to wear it on. The watch wears beautifully. It's a good solid watch. It's not overly big. The lugs are short, and on my 7¼ inch wrist, you can see it fits beautifully on my wrist. It is a thick watch. It's almost 14 millimeters thick, so not a dress watch. Of course, you have other watches for that, don't you? And I love the Hershey bar style rubber bracelet. Really is comfortable. It's soft. It's flexible. It doesn't smell funny. It works well. And it's a really good looking watch. I just think it's gimmicky. Now, one gimmick doesn't detract from the ownability and the wearability of the watch. That's, you know, this thing. And hey, you could even put the watch head into this and, I don't know, wear it around your neck and have dive tables available to you, or wear it around your wrist or something. I don't know what you do with this exactly in terms of, you know, other than it's a nice reference and a very nice dive table. It's all metal. I don't know what good it does. But the switching of the two cages and that sort of thing, that's a nice gimmick. I like that. The screw down, literally screw down crown, and the placement of the crown in such a way that you can't get to it for setting purposes and barely get to it for winding purposes when this piece is in the way. Maybe you should have milled that out a little, milled that flush down to here, you know, cut that away so the crown could come out. get that out of the way of the crown or something. That's a gimmick that would really annoy me after a while. But that's just me. To you, the dear viewer, that may not be a problem. But for me, it gives me reason to stop and think. Again, that's just me. But a very interesting watch. I enjoyed playing with it for a while. I enjoyed wearing it. And I thank Ross over there at his company. I'll leave a mention of it and a link to it in the description. And I'll leave a link to Delma's website as well in the description. I appreciate Ross giving me this watch. Very nice experience. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you found it to be useful, entertaining, informative, etc. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. That does help with the YouTube search algorithm and helps bring people to the channel, and we are all about that. Comments, questions, suggestions down below. I do read them all. I do respond to them all. However, if you are going to try and troll me or insult me or leave links to bad places on the internet, I will simply delete the comment and block the commenter. If you're new to the channel, of course, welcome. Please feel free to watch as many videos as you like. I have hundreds. All I ask in return is that you click the subscribe button before you leave. And help grow the channel. Don't forget to click the bell icon too, so that when I upload new videos or I do a live stream, you will be alerted. And as I always say at the end of my videos, it is a crazy old world out there. It is not getting any less crazy. So please be careful out there. Stay safe. Be well. See you soon.